Have you seen Greatest Showman yet?
Go on, you start. Go on, I'm nervous.
I just said something. Did you not hear me?
No, go on. You start. Go on, I'm nervous.
Can you hear me okay? I'm nervous now because I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, you're responding to my quips. I asked, have you ever seen?
I didn't hear you.
Have you ever seen The Greatest Show? Have you seen The Greatest Showman yet?
No, I haven't seen The Greatest Showman yet.
Why not?
Because I'm not a 13-year-old girl.
You're walking a tightrope. Me and you, we could rewrite
I don't know what that means.
the stars.
I don't know what that means.
I know I want you. Oh, Zac Efron, he's dreamy.
This is worse than your La La Land thing. You were weird for La La Land.
La La Land was okay. I didn't like it when I first saw it, but then the more time that passed between seeing it, I realized I had quite an appreciation for it. But The Greatest Showman is like the best film ever made. So, yeah.
Shawshank best film ever made.
Shawshank Redemption, dicked on it. Raging Bull, fucking dicked on it. Toy Story 3, fucking dicked on it.
The best film ever made is School of Rock. That is the best film ever made.
Well, The Power of the Rent was way hardcore. Or way past due. That's what it was, not way hardcore.
It's just so good, Colin. It's so good.
You wanna be the teacher's pet. Baby, you should better forget. Yeah, I love School of Rock. I've got it on DVD still. I haven't watched it in years. That was such a great film. Do you remember they reunited like 10 years ago? Or no, 5-6 years ago?
I watch that video all the time, and they all do the different solos, and they make the song last about 9 minutes. It's really good.
So good. So I'm dead keen for that. When I went to Dubai, I watched a couple of films on the plane. I watched Spider-Man Homecoming finally. And
like it?
I liked it very much. It was very good. I very much liked Tom Holland as Spider-Man. And I like the new Mary Jane. I like the fat
spoilers,
and I like the villain, and I like the Tony Stark spoilers, even though it's not because he's on the poster. It was very good. I liked it very much.
I think that film's very good. Anyway, Colin, shut up, because we need to do Heroes of Handheld episode 208, which is the internet's premium handheld gaming podcast dedicated to all things handheld. That's your Nintendo Switch, your 3DS, your mobile, and this week, possibly for the last time ever, the PlayStation Vita, but we'll talk about that more later on. I was away last week, but Colin, thank you very much for doing the show by yourself. It sounded, I caught up with it earlier on today, and it sounded very good. So thank you for doing that. And I'm glad to be back with you. It's good. It's exciting.
Well, the reason why I hadn't started the podcast properly is because it's been so long since we did one together. I forgot why we were here. I thought we were just having a nice little catch up.
I know. Well, we were catching up for about. I was like, let's start early. I got a quarter of an hour earlier, then we were just shooting the breeze. But that's all right. So, Colin,
that's not a saying. Shooting the breeze. That's not.
What have you been playing since we last spoke?
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I've not actually played that much. I've been continuing my delving into FIFA 18, and I've been playing more of Call of Duty World War II Online, which I'm realizing now as I get older, I'm getting worse and worse. My reflexes are terrible, and there's just no point. And there's been many occasions where I've had to throw the controller down. How did he not die? I shot him so many times. I said that so many times, and it's very frustrating, Chris. It's very frustrating. There's no worse than when when you shoot someone in Call of Duty and you get that little noise that tells you you've hit them, that little noise. You get a little X on your screen. Well,
yeah, and the crosshairs goes like it changes, doesn't it? It makes like a
yes, and then you hear that 3 times, and you think, oh, that's good enough. So you turn around to move on. And then you don't get any notification that you've killed them, and then you quickly spin back around, and they've killed you in one shot. It's bullshit. A load of shit, I tell you. There's actually a cool feature in it, though, called Headquarters, where you're loaded into this barracks, and there's probably about 20 or 30 other players around the world there as well. And you can explore this world. You can take out contracts. You can get your score streaks up. You can get loot crates. But it's actually really nice. You're just in this area of loads of. It's a bit like Destiny, I think, where there'd be loads of other players like walking around as well. And I've always liked that. I don't know. I like the whole community feel of those sorts of things. But the best part of this, as everyone knows, is the mannerisms and the poses you can do whilst you're in this map with other players. So you can like do dances, you can wave, you can shake their hand. It's just fun, just standing there and doing weird dances in the middle of World War II, as it is intended. It's great. But I'm actually I'm
It's just like our grandparents remember it. Everyone's just larking around, waving at each other, shooting down enemy soldiers who were just there trying to earn a dollar they could send back to their family, and you gun them down and run over and dip your virtual testicles in their mouth. It's just like our grandparents did it.
Oh, just like old times. Anyway, so I've been playing that. I've been playing HQ Trivia. I say playing, but ever since honestly, if you hadn't told me about this, I would have had no idea. But I'm addicted to it now. I work my breaks now around playing it at 3 p.m. And I also have to like play it every night at 9 o'clock now. The lowest I've got is under 1,000 people, I think. But let's get straight into it. I see that you want to talk about HQ Trivia. So actually, before you give me your news on HQ Trivia, I just want to say people might not know what it is. People should download HQ Trivia. It's a big trivia game show, and you can play it twice a day, and it's free to enter. And you get money, and you have to answer questions. That's all it is. And Sharon Carpenter is our girl. Continue.
So I actually won on HQ Trivia last week. I don't know if you saw on Twitter.
Bullshit.
But I actually got through all 12 questions and then got the... Can you not call bullshit on my win, please?
So, yeah.
I don't know if you saw... I'm guessing you didn't see this.
No, I didn't see this. That's exciting if true. I'm going to have
because I actually won $250 using HQ Trivia, which clearly is still a bizarre shock to me, and something that I never really thought would happen when I installed the game all that time ago.
Yeah.
But so I just wanted to, because I thought, if I'm honest, when this game came around, I thought it was kind of too good to be true. But I actually... because I won last week and the jackpot was so good, I was like, oh my God, I need to get this into my PayPal straight away. And like, it was in my PayPal by 9:30. So I do want to say, I know it looks like a scam and, you know, take it with a grain of salt, but this guy is paying for pizzas using HQ Trivia money. You know what I'm saying, Colin Burton?
Well, I'm glad it's legit, but can I just ask, did you actually know every single question or did you have to guess some of them? Was it just like...
No, I would say I knew the first maybe 5 or 6, and then the rest were educated guesses. And Emma went out on maybe question 5 or 6, but she stayed and helped me get through it as well, because there was a question like a Meryl Streep question that I didn't know that she did know, but the rest were just guesses. But that's the thing, is like, I'm like you, I played that game all the time, so there is like... there's an element of odds, isn't there? And if you keep playing, eventually you're going to get a streak of questions that you get lucky with. But what was weird was how, like, I didn't realize how far into the process I was, because I was like, oh, I'm doing okay. I'm surprised I'm not out yet. And then it was like question 12, and I was like, wait, what the?
God,
how have I got this
question
far?
12? The pressure, man! If you forced it up, then
I know exactly. And the question was, I didn't know as well. It was like it was about football, and it was something like, which of these 3 UK clubs has a section from the King James Bible imprinted on their stadium wall, or so, like something niche like that. And I just guessed.
If I had the options, I probably could have got that. Do you know the options were? Or what was the right answer? What was the right answer?
Well, the answer was West Brom, and I thought it was West Brom because they're quite old, but the other clubs were like nearby ones, that maybe Coventry and Millwall or something like that.
I probably would have gone for Millwall. So I would have got it wrong. So I would have got that wrong.
But it was, So I do want to say, like, as a game, you know, me and you clearly play it a lot. and I thought it was too good to be true, but in my case, it certainly isn't. Interestingly enough, is that I won like a fairly, like a decent jackpot, like a good amount of money, and I'm still playing it. So that says something about the game.
That is, I'm
the
actually,
game.
it's not actually sunk in that you actually won on HQ Trivia, and the fact that you got $250, you must have only won it with like 3 other people. Give you a 750 one.
There was 3 of us, including me, that got through to the end.
You'll get the question right.
Well, no, I don't know how many went into the last question, but I mean, the prize pool was split 3 ways at the end, which is also the lowest I've ever seen it split. So that helped. But yeah, it was mad, and it didn't it's still not really sunk in. I think it will sink in once because I'm not taking the money out of PayPal yet. Once I've done that, I will. But I would say if you want, from a winner's perspective, you just got to play. You've just got to play the game a lot and go with your instincts, because you can't. The thing is, because you can't change your answer. If you immediately see an answer and think it's right, I would always go for that rather than beat yourself up and twist around corners as well. Because the games are so often, they're twice a day, that you may as well go for it. And if you get it wrong, you'll probably get it right every other time. So yeah.
I'm very impressed, Chris. Well done. I bow to you. I dip my hat, because that is really impressive. And that's actually good. The thing with me and because me and my partner play well, we play it on my phone, but I never actually thought about us doing it separately. So if one goes out, the other person can continue.
Oh yeah, that's a better way, because if you
don't know the answer, you can do different ones.
If you answer an answer and there's 2 of you playing and you both guess, if you guess by yourself, you're more likely to get it wrong. But if there's 2 of you and you both guess, one of you, suddenly the odds of you both going through goes up. So it's worth doing, I think.
Oh well, congrats! And I'm looking forward to that. We've got to be done before 9 because we're going to do tonight's one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, on it.
Yeah, so let's continue with the news then. Let's talk about Pokemon Go and Pokemon Day, because
can I just? Sorry, I'm going to buy in here. I've got. I know, but I meant to put this in the chat, but I didn't. The article Pokemon Go. I've got something to talk about before we get on to the other big things about Pokemon Go. The first thing, there was a community event on this Saturday just gone, so the 24th of February, and between the hours of I believe it was 11 or 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. GMT, the game had more Dratinis everywhere. So Dratinis were spawning everywhere, and if you upgraded your Dragonair during that time to get a Dragonite, you would get a unique move, which would be very powerful. So I was on that shit. I had about 57 Dratini candies, and I spent the whole hour just getting Dratini after Dratini, and I managed to upgrade my Dragonair. I got a Dragonite. Finally, I have a Dragonite. So happy, and it's got a really cool, powerful move. And yeah, that was fun. So that community event was awesome.
What move has it got?
I think it was something with its tail. Let me just load it up and I'll show it to the camera. But I just wanted to mention that. So, I mean, I've poo-pooed the community days, but yeah, I was dead keen on that. But obviously the highlight at the moment is the fact that Pikachu's got his hat back on. Woo!
Yeah, so, Pokemon were counting down to Pokemon Day, which was yesterday, and they made a bunch of announcements.
But we're counting down to Pokemon Day, which was yesterday.
Yeah, they were counting down to Pokemon Day, which was yesterday.
Fair enough.
Not a great deal of huge announcements to come out of this. Pikachu had this special anniversary birthday hat on for just a day. So depending on when you listen to this podcast, it's probably gone by now. But they also announced that your Amazon Alexa and Google Home device will now have Pikachu Talk function. So you can get Pikachu Talk, and then you can talk to it, and it basically just says Pikachu back to you. And Snapchat are now getting Pokemon filters as well, including a Bulbasaur filter, which I tried out earlier, which was fine. It just means that there's a Bulbasaur walking around you. If I'm honest, not the most exciting of Pokemon Day announcements. There was also some stuff about the film I Choose You, which I saw last year, which is the one that's got talking Pikachu in it. That's been kind of memed a little bit. And that's
have you seen
TV.
The trailer? Did you watch the trailer?
I watched the film. I watched the fucking film, and it was quite something. I think I reviewed it on this podcast actually. It was ages ago. It was like October last year.
Mm. But did you see the
It's
trailer
not.
that came out for Detective Pikachu?
Oh, well, we're not even talking about Text Pikachu yet.
I want to talk about his
But I
stupid
guess
voice.
yeah, no, because in Pokemon the movie, I Choose You, Pikachu has a stupid voice as well, but it's a different stupid voice. But anyway, you can watch Pokemon the movie I Choose You now. Go onto the Pokemon website for more information on that. And like Colin's saying, there is a trailer out for Detective Pikachu, which comes out in spring 2018 on 3DS. Are you excited for this game?
I just don't understand it. It sort of confuses me, like how this came about, really. But I mean, Pikachu looks like a small fat man, doesn't he? So it makes sense that he'd have a small fat Englishman's voice.
Yeah, it's quite weird, but I'm keen for it. But then they're also making a film which has been in production in London, and they've been talking about all the different. There's like different cast in that as well. Ryan Reynolds is in it, but there's loads of other quite interesting people in that film as well. So yeah, I mean they're clearly trying to make Detective Pikachu a thing, and you would imagine that there'll be like a mobile tie-in or something to come at some point as well. So
of course there will be.
like a wallpaper or an interactive something or bullshit. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm quite interested to play the game. And if this is the last hurrah for the 3DS, then, that's quite a good thing to go out on.
The 3DS is the console that just will never die. So,
yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that more later on, but it's, still crazy, surprisingly popular given how great the Switch is as well. But another little Pokemon thing, just whilst we're on the topic, is that Pokemon Go is getting some new legendaries for a week. Colin, you're still playing this game, so I'm guessing it's going to interest you more than it is me.
Yeah, I'm not. I
don't
do raids, so it doesn't interest me at all, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Kyogre and Groudon return to raid battles alongside Rayquaza for a limited time. I can't remember which I've got. I fell out of interest with Pokemon Go a month or so ago. But basically, between February 23rd and March the 5th, there's going to be new legend. The three of them are going to be in different gyms. And then, depending on which Pokemon wins, different Pokemons are going to spawn accordingly after March 5th through March 16th. So, if Rayquaza is defeated more than Kyogre and Groudon combined, Pokemon that prefer windy weather are more likely to hatch from eggs. If not, Pokemon that prefer sunny or rainy weather are more likely to hatch. Special boxes with raid passes as well are out for the last couple of days. So yeah, and apparently Pokemon is celebrating a legendary year. If you go to pokemon.com/legendary, there's more information there. I guess it must be an anniversary. I can't quite do the maths on that right now, but yeah, that's. Pokemon Go clearly getting a lot of support and continuing to get a lot of support as well. So that's exciting for people who are still playing it. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not playing it at the moment. It's too cold, it's too wet, it's too snowy. But when summer comes around, I will most likely be back on it. I'll probably dabble back in just to see what's different.
I did like how obviously because it's been snowing around the UK. Over the past few days, they've got the snow effect everywhere on Pokemon Go, which is very nice. I've not seen that before, so that was good. Yeah, Pokemon Go is what it is. I've not been playing it as religiously as I had been over the past few months, but I don't know. Ever since getting my Dragonite, I've sort of my interest has wavered a little bit. I don't know why. I think it's because I need what keeps me going is building up to getting a Pokemon. So walking a Pokemon to get candies, or walking to an incubator, a 10k egg, or something like that. That's still the big thrill for me. Is trying to fill the Pokedex, which is why obviously by doing raid battles you do get legendary Pokemon. But yeah, it just hasn't really interested me. I'm more in about the catching the Pokemon than finding new ones. That's what I'm all about.
Fair enough. You do you.
This is me. Whoa. Anyway, can we just quickly talk about something which is related to dying consoles? We spoke about the 3DS, which just won't die. And I guess the same can be said for this next topic. So, people, PlayStation Plus. We all know what PlayStation Plus is. If you're subscribed to it on your PlayStation, Sony console, you get free games every month, and you also get access to online features. So, This is something that's been around for a while. Every month, new games are added on. And for March, we have new games that are available if you are a PlayStation Vita owner, or a PS3 owner, or a PS4 owner. For PS Vita, we've got Bombing Busters and also Claire, the extended cut. And they're both cross-buy with the PS4, which is very exciting. But that is not all. In the blog post on the US PlayStation blog, Sony and PlayStation have revealed that from the 8th of March 2019, so we've got a year away, so it's not anytime soon, but from March the 8th, 2019, PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita games will now no longer be included in PlayStation Plus lineups. They're just going to be focusing on the PS4 entirely. And there's been a little bit of a disappointed feel about this and people upset, but I don't think we should be too surprised. I mean, the PS4 has been out for, was it 2015 the PS4 came out? Was it 2014?
I think I think older, isn't it? 20, it's like 2013 or 2014.
Oh, look, the PS4, when did it come out? So it launched on, I swear, 2013 seems way too long ago, but you could be right. How long has it been out? It was launched on the. What is it not saying? Oh,
go on. You do your piece. I'll look up when it came out.
2013. God, you're right. It's 15th of November 2013. The PS4 came out. So the fact they're keeping PS3 and Vita games coming out till next year. I mean, that's 6 years after the release of the PlayStation 4. So it makes sense they'll just focus on that. But it's good that we're still going to have them for another 12 months. So, I mean, it's a bit upsetting. Something else that's been taken away from Vita owners. But then are we surprised? Are we surprised? I'm not surprised. I'm just surprised it's taking this long. I wouldn't have been surprised if the statement said they're going to stop it from next month. But the fact they're giving you a whole year
year's notice is a long time. Like, it's that's more than I think people can rightfully feel. Well, I mean, people feel what they want to feel, but like I'm surprised they've got as much notice as they have, because in my head Sony would have announced that with 3 months rather than 12.
Yeah, exactly. It's important to remember as well that this won't affect any games you've downloaded or will download prior to the March the 8th, 2019. So you're not going to lose any of the games that you've already downloaded. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, just wanted to quickly mention that. Some sad news, but then you get 2 free games for this month, and you got 3 games if you're a PlayStation Vita owner until March next year. So it's not all bad, is it? Right, let's get back on to the meat and veg of this sandwich. Let's talk about Switch. There's a lot of stuff in here, but I want to know, because I know, Chris, you're on the ball this week with your Switch news. Outlast 2 is on Switch. Apparently, this took everyone by surprise because no one was expecting it to come out so quick.
Yeah, so is it Red Barrel Studios? What are they called? Yeah, the Red Barrels on Twitter, Red Barrel Studios. They had announced that Outlast and Outlast 2 were coming to Switch, but they just said like first half of 2018. And then it kind of came out as like a surprise thing. They were like, here it is. Bundle of Terror Edition is now available on the eShops Nintendo Switch system. I haven't played it yet. I don't know if you have, Colin, but Outlast is a spooky game. There's a trailer which you can watch on Twitter. I mean, it looks pretty chilly. More scary than I'm willing to go in for, I think.
Is it? So just you've played it. Is Outlast the game?
No, I haven't played it. I just said I haven't played it. Can you? Oh. Why don't you listen? No, I haven't played it.
You dickhead. Go on.
Oh, not very well. Now available on the Nintendo Switch. A very well-rated horror title, very well-rated indie title. And this is Outlast 2. I don't know what the plans are for Outlast 1. Oh no, wait, hang on. Outlast 1 is out now. Outlast 2, you can pre-order now. So there we go.
I haven't got the balls to play a game like that. I'm a bit of a wimp.
Oh, it looks scary, doesn't it? It looks really spooky.
I think it's the one where you start off in a car and you make your way up to this asylum, and then you have to climb in through a window to start the game.
Here we go. Sorry, just to update you. So Outlast 1 is out now. Outlast 2 will come out on March 27th, according to the European and Australian eShops.
Nice. Very good. It's good to get some horror games on the Switch, because I think that is a good platform for it as well. You know, being able to take it with you on that screen, so you can. Well, I don't think many people would be playing it in bed, to be honest, because that would probably be a bad idea. But then, because it's easy to like put the Switch to sleep, like if you get scared by something, you could literally just like click the sleep button and throw it down. So that's a
Yeah,
benefit.
that's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, Outlast is out now. Outlast 2, March 27th. Let's be clear about that because our title is slightly misleading, which is my fault.
At last,
in other
at last.
haha, in other indie news, I've been playing a title called Enter the Gungeon. Have you heard of this, Colin?
We've spoken about this on the podcast before, Christopher.
Did we?
We did, because I kept getting confused because I kept saying dungeon when it's gungeon, and I remember saying to you, I don't understand gungeon. Then you had a go at me and said, "Why is it confusing? It's just gun at the beginning of dungeon."
Yeah, gun dungeon. Anyway, so I bought it because it was on sale in a Switch multiplayer sale they were having. So I paid just over £8 for it. It's a bullet hell dodging roguelike game. It's really very good. It is also really very hard. I was surprised how difficult it was. I kind of wasn't expecting it to be as hard as it was. It's £10.99 on Switch Store at the moment. And it's a one of those games where you have to, clear each level of the dungeon and then take another step down, clear each level of the dungeon, take another step down, clear each level of the dungeon. We played those types of games before. The difference is that this mixes in top-down bullet hell elements. So you're shooting at things, you're running away from things, you're using your dodge roll to jump over bullets. You also get special powers. It's kind of like, I would say it's like a co-op-y, arcadey Binding of Isaac is probably what I would compare it to. But I'm really enjoying it. It's, very simple. And what is really good about it is, every time you die, it doesn't take long to restart and go back into it. So I like it for that element of it. So I would, I'd recommend checking it out. And it's got co-op, which I haven't tried yet, but I will try at some point in the near future. And I'll report back.
Nice. If it's like the Binding of Isaac, it's going to be very messed up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Binding of Isaac in terms of gameplay. It's not like Binding of Isaac in terms of story or art style, because that game is really quite messed up. This is, it's similar in that it's a bullet hell and you're top down and there's dungeons. It's dissimilar in that you're not having to run away from giant poos and tears and stuff.
That's literally what the game is, running away from poos. Now, I'm a big fan of Mario, but you know what I like more? I like Mario's soundtrack, and specifically the Super Mario Odyssey soundtrack. So, can people buy this?
Yeah, Elsie will be talking about it. This is just a brief foray into Super Mario Odyssey, which is that the soundtrack is now available to order in Japan. It's Colin, it costs 46,000 yen. Do you know how much that is in dollars?
$42.96.
Oh, so what a steal! God, that's expensive, but hopefully it'll come out. I mean, you'd imagine it'll come out from the Nintendo store in the UK and in the US as well.
If you want to go and buy it in Dubai, it costs you 157 dirhams. If you want to buy it in Switzerland, it is 37 Swiss francs. If you want to buy it in Saudi Arabia, it will cost you 161 Saudi Arabian rial.
Right.
But that's not all. If you want to buy it in Korea, it will cost you God, it's even more expensive. 46,000 Korean won. So there you go. Start saving.
Also in Odyssey news, Colin, I don't know if you're playing this, but you're not playing Super Mario Odyssey, are you?
No, I've played bits of it. I don't own it yet, but I have played it, and it's very good, and I need to get it as soon as possible.
Is it Luigi's Balloon Hunt mode came out last week? I've not had a chance to play it yet because I've been playing Monster Hunter and Enter the Gungeon. But it's a free update that adds Luigi's Balloon World. It also adds a slightly different end to there's like a true ending if you get all the power moons and beat the final boss. And this adds a slight change to the cutscene that plays off that as well. But I'm told it's very minor. There's also 3 new outfits inspired by Super Mario Sunshine. So do take a look at those as well. It's nice that they're bringing new free content to this game, because to be honest, I would definitely pay for new worlds and stuff. So it's quite nice that they're giving us things for free. But I would expect, based on the fact that there are in this game clear allusions to other Super Mario titles. That's what I'm going to say. I would expect that in the future there'll be a DLC pack that's like 19.99 to get worlds inspired by Bear and Bear. So see what happens with that.
I do like the GIF that's on this post from Nintendo of America. Like someone's got an amiibo of Luigi, and then they have a Waluigi which knocks it off, and he puts that in its place. It's actually quite fun.
Oh man, when is Waluigi going to get the attention he deserves?
Well, I prefer blue to. I prefer blue to green, so whenever I'm playing Mario Kart, I do actually always choose Waluigi. But he's not actually that good because his knees are so long. They like stick out the car, and I swear it makes you go slower. Honestly,
you have Mario Kart on Twitch
now? I did. I've bought it. I've borrowed it off someone, and I didn't realize that when you. I don't know if this is the same for everyone, but when we put it in and started playing it, it automatically sets auto steer and auto accelerate. I don't know if that is a setting for everyone, but that's what we found. And I was like, oh, this is a piece of piss. This is a breeze. And it turns out it's because it was all automatically doing it for us. But then when we took off the automatic steering, it's very difficult. It's a very challenging.
But you use motion controls, don't you?
No, well, no, I don't. I use the joystick. I just think that works better.
No, then you're not an idiot.
Thanks.
I respect you.
Thanks.
I think that's all the Switch news. But Colin, let's move on to very briefly to 3DS because there is something. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't buy a card, quite frankly, because the day before yesterday was the 7th birthday for the Nintendo 3DS in Japan. So let's all take a moment. 7 years is pretty incredible for this console that's still going strong, and going strong to the point where, according to VentureBeat.com, Nintendo 3DS had its most successful January sales since 2013, when the console was only a couple of years old. So people are still rampantly buying this console, and I mean, like you said about the Vita, it's slightly differently. This console won't die. There weren't any big games that came out in January. It's just because Pokemon came out at the end of the year, and people are still crazy for like Mario Kart and Zelda and Pokemon, obviously. So yeah, I guess as well there's an element to this, which is that people are thinking about Nintendo again and maybe can't afford to get a Switch, but are thinking, well, I'll pick up a 3DS whilst I wait. So yeah, very popular month. More information on that on our article on heroeshandheld.wordpress.com, where we've linked through to the article on VentureBeat. The other little bit of 3DS news, very briefly, is that SteamWorld Dig 2 is now available for the 3DS in North America on the eShop. So if you missed this, I mean, it's on other platforms as well, but if you want to play on your Switch, then you can get it on the 3DS eShop in North America. And once the page loads, I will tell you that it costs however many dollars it costs. Come on. Rated E for everyone. Come on. Rated oh no, well, they say E for everyone is also 10 plus, which I would argue isn't E for everyone, but anyway,
not everyone.
Well, the page isn't loading, so I'm gonna guess it's $15.99.
That's pretty a fair guess, to be honest. That's what the games normally are. So yeah, that's your lot, is it? Is that your lot?
Bless you, Shona. Yeah, that is your lot.
Oh, well, there you go. We should move on to group chat then.
Yeah. So this is a fresh approach to group chat because we didn't do one the last couple of weeks. But big topic, Colin.
Yes. Oh, you're asking me?
Oh, because you wrote it in.
I thought you were about to say you started that weird. You're like big topic, Colin, and then you went quiet. So you didn't really phrase that very well. But a topic I want us to discuss for next week's podcast, so you have a week to think about this. Actually, maybe not a week because I'm not here next week, but we'll talk about that later. What is the hardest game or level within a game that you have ever played? So I want to know about games or levels that were so difficult that you couldn't finish them, you had to put the game down, or you got so frustrated that you threw it across the room. So it can be a level, it can be a game, it can be new or old, it can be on any platform. Ideally it'd be on a handheld device, but it doesn't have to be. Really like to know your thoughts and your personal experiences with that, because I've got a few suggestions for that, and I'm very looking forward to talking about them. So yes, let us know your thoughts, your opinions, your stories. You can tweet us at Handheld Podcast on Twitter. You can email us heroesofhandheld@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, on Google Plus, on iTunes and Stitcher. You can leave comments on there, reviews, and you can put your answer in there if you so desire. But let us know, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. And we look forward to coming back and discussing our findings next week or the week after, whenever we decide to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll do a mini episode next week, so it'll be the week after. So yeah, your hardest gaming level, we'd love to know.
14
that's quite
days,
tricky
people.
actually, because what is also worth considering is that sometimes the hardest levels are also the funnest.
Well, I don't know. There's a fine line between entertainingly challenging and just frustratingly difficult for no reason.
Yeah, that's true actually.
So yeah, looking forward to hearing people's thoughts on that. Chris, we should get out of here. We've got to get ready for HQ trivia.
Yeah, that's true. Remember, if you want if you want to give your boy Chris a life, you just put the referral code Enter Soundman in. If people want to get in touch with us, the easiest way is Twitter at Handheld Podcast. There is also a Gmail, heroesofhandheld@gmail.com. There's a Facebook page, search Heroes for Handheld, and our website where you can listen to every single episode we've ever bloody done, heroesofhandheld.wordpress.com. We would love to hear from you. We also write up a really big article there every week, which has like links and further reading. It's not just a place where we host a podcast. It's a place where we write about handheld gaming too. So if you can't ever listen, but you want to get the week's notes, that's the best place to go. heroesforhandheld.wordpress.com. It's that simple.
We would love you to do that. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Chris, you've been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and I'm seeing you next week, aren't I think?
Maybe, if schedules meet up. Awkward. We'll see. We'll discuss off air.
Okay.
Or not.
Yeah,
Sorry, gotta go.
yeah,
Bye.
okay.
Bye. Thank you for listening, everybody. Back soon. Love you. Goodbye.
Love you. Bye. LYB.